Hi Munchkins and welcome to another video of cheese. And in today's video we are solidifying the fact that I will probably never get any sponsorships from any fragrance houses, because today is for real chat, for perfume collectors and for people just getting into the hobby, because I've been in the hobby for 3 years now. And honestly, there's some stuff I gotta say that I think that I have beef with, things like that. I gotta air it out so it doesn't start to eat me alive, okay? So yeah, I got some beef with fragrance houses and I just wanted to talk about that basically. And that's the whole gist of today's video. So, first of all, I am so annoyed that I've noticed a trend of fragrance houses, especially bigger fragrance houses, making less potent fragrances and charging more. And this to me does not go into my fucking brain. It's so annoying when you buy a fragrance and it lasts for like 1 hour and it costs you a lot of money. And I know that they have the full right to do that. It's their product. But what I am saying is that they're scamming you, basically. Because if you expect a fragrance to last at least, I say that the minimum for me, basically as a collector, that I think is sufficient is like 3 to 4 hours. And if it lasts under that and it is super expensive, I feel scammed. You know why? Because I need to keep spritzing all the fucking time to make it last. You know what that means? I run through bottles and that's what they want, okay? So I'm calling them out on their bullshit, okay? So they are giving you less product, worse product, for more money, because let's face it, the fragrance prices have gone up like at least 30%. Lately, after the whole crisis thing with Russia started, I've noticed an increase in price, while I've noticed also a decrease in quality, which is not okay. And I'm annoyed especially when designer houses do this, or when niche houses do this. Then it super grinds my gears. You know why? Because these houses are trusted. They're trusted from past buyers and they're trusted from history, and they're using that trust and making faulty, bullshitty product that's less than it used to be and charging more. If you are going to give us scented water that does not last, you should also halve your price, honestly. And I know that they're also catering to the needs of new people. So I guess they're also training new people to kind of accept the fact that their fragrance is not gonna last and they're having to consume more and more and more, And I think that's toxic when we're thinking about the whole culture of overusing things. And I know this sounds silly since I'm a collector. I collect things, I have a lot of them, but over-consumerism, okay? That's the other kind of shit. When people use fragrance that does not last, they need to buy more bottles of it. And that kind of worsens the over-consumerism. And I think that these fragrance houses should be held accountable for that. In fact, I think that the fragrances should be labeled in a way where they show how long it lasts, so you as a buyer can make a better choice. And I know that there are pages dedicated to decoding this, but it takes a lot of people's time and patience to upkeep those pages. Like for example, Fragrantica, where people have to basically do their research, do trials and errors, and then vote for how long something lasts. That means that a lot of people have to buy the fragrance first, and if it's a shit fragrance that does not last, these people are getting scammed, basically. Okay, Then some people say that the lasting power is not as important factor than the actual good DNA or good smell. I disagree for the reasons I stated before. And I think we should be a lot harsher for designer houses and known houses, because if they have in the past produced better product and they start slacking, we should honestly be even more harsh on them, because we're being harsh on cheapies all the time. We're being harsh on fragrance houses that make fragrances that are cheaper for the consumer, that aren't overpriced, and we throw those under the bus, but we don't do the same for designers. We say it's okay because it's designer, it's okay because it's their vision, okay? Like how is that different from a cheapie not lasting? Except you're believing the hype, that is the designer hype or the niche house hype. Yeah, personally I think that they're slacking off when their product is like that. And honestly, their prices should come down. That's my opinion, because they are scamming you. And if you are trusting this house to make good decisions just because they're a big and known house, how capitalistic are you? Like, you do know they take advantage of the name, right? You do know that the fact that there are way better... I've noticed this myself because I collect cheapies, okay? And I've noticed that the cheapie houses oftentimes actually produce better product than designer. Better product than some niche houses, expensive niche houses. You know why? They don't have the name to drop off. They don't have their name or like their other products. Like for example, designers. Designers can be known and they have this hype behind them. And if they drop something bullshitty, they can just kind of justify it. People will still buy it because it's the name, you know. But cheapies don't have this, so they have to, like, cheapie products need to be actually good products in order for them to break through, because they don't have that mass hysteria behind them and that mass hype, okay? So in fact, I respect the hustle of these cheapie fragrance houses way more, because they give oftentimes product for good pricing, and they really are sometimes better than the originals. So I think we should hold these firms accountable. Why are they doing this shit, okay? And I think we should hold together and pull our weight. If you buy a fragrance and you know that it lasts very short amount of time, share it with the community, okay? Like, let's kind of have each other's backs so we don't give money to overpriced designer houses that only write off the name and give you bullshit in a package that is super priced, okay? So people often wonder why I do cheapie house reviews, and the reason is because I know that people often buy into the hype and they buy shit just because of name, and people are prone to think that a name makes it better, or they are prone to think that they will receive quality because of the name. And that's wrong of the designer houses to use that, in my opinion. It's unethical, okay? They're using that to their advantage, and I know someone might say, oh, it's good marketing. Yes, it is. And still unethical, okay, in my opinion. But yeah, so that is why I'm dedicating my channel to cheapies mainly, because I really like them. And I also really like niche houses, because niche houses oftentimes, I know I mentioned a couple that have been slacking, and I've been like, kind of like, okay, from hearing things from the grapevine, okay? But at least niche houses are building their shit on actual fragrance. Like, they're building their reputation on their fragrance instead of like jewelry, clothes, cars, blah blah. You know how designers are. And I'm not shitting on all designers. There are some designer stuff that's amazing, and I have designer fragrances that are amazing, and I make it known, okay? Like, I talk in my channel straight from heart, and if a designer house does a magnificent job, like, I will voice that. But also, if a designer house or a niche house does a shittier job with their fragrance than usual, I will also call them out more than usual, because they are charging more than usual, okay? So yeah, so that's kind of my beef with them taking advantage of their hype, and them taking advantage of buyers, and them trying to, okay, this is my conspiracy theory. I think they're trying to, by releasing these not as strong fragrances, they're trying to teach the new buyers to be okay with it, to be okay with lesser product, with more money, and that's just my opinion. And I think this has been going on from the 80s, okay, because in the 80s you had all these powerhouses, and now they're kind of like, with each turn of reformulation, things are getting weaker and weaker, okay? So I think that's also part of their plan, is to make people overconsume more and be okay with buying crappier fragrances with more money. And I have to say, that's pretty genius marketing, okay? Of course, there are other factors in it too, like, for example, people being more aware of fragrances causing like asthma attacks and things like that, and wanting a product that smells nice without being overwhelming, okay? There's a different market for that. But those fragrances usually are marketed as such. But then I see things like strong amber fragrance, like, that's supposed to be resinous, ambery, long lasting. And then you get some bullshit that's not like that. Like, when the marketing is not at all what you receive, that's when I have a problem. I'm not talking about our Eclat d'Arpeggies and other stuff like that, like airy, fresh fragrances that are never even telling you that they will last a long time. They are always like, ooh, refreshing, and that means that it lasts only a little bit. But yeah, that's not my problem. My problem is the big houses bullshitting people, and this reprogramming that they're doing to new customers to accept shittier quality with way more price tags, okay? And even like the hype stuff, like, I'm annoyed that some fragrances get like huge hype, and then when you're in the community for a long time, you notice like they just fizzle out. You never hear them after the hype. Nobody talks about them, and I'm just telling you guys to be like really mindful. Some people are getting like huge stacks of money for promoting these brands, even though they don't even like the product, and that's why you don't hear anything about it after the hype goes away. That's why I always say research classics, because classics are classics because they're actual good fragrances, like, they've been around because they've made it. They're kind of like something that people respond positively from one year to another, to another, to another, because they're actual good fragrances, okay? So don't buy into the hype of YouTubers as easily, okay? Because sometimes deals are made and people don't always tell you that they're sponsored, or they will honestly, like, it's so hard not to be influenced a little bit if you have a brand deal. That is why I listen to people who don't have brand deals, but that's just my own opinion, okay? So yeah, this was my beef video. Tell me in the comments down below if you've noticed some similar stuff, or if you have the similar beef, or if you disagree, also tell me that. And tell me your view on whether or not you think I'm wrong, or you think that, yeah, that kind of resonated, that hit home something. What kind of struggles do you have with your purchasing behaviors, and your like, how do you monitor that you don't buy crap? Okay, like, I wanna know, okay? And I hope you guys like this kind of different take on things. And yeah, if you're not subscribed already, what are you doing with your life? Huh? It's right there. Push it. Or don't. I don't know. Maybe not. Ooh, there's shining light. Light is shining onto me. That means that you need to subscribe and like this video. Okay. Have a scentful day, and I see you guys in my next beef video. No, next one is probably gonna be a little more positive. On a little more positive note. Yeah. See ya. Bye.